Hey guys, LevelCap here, and today I want to talk about things I would like to see in Battlefield 4 that are not features, but rather fixes and balances. We've all talked about all the cool features we would love to see in BF4, but I would like to focus my attention today on the things that are already in the game that could just use a little bit of tweaking to really make it flow a lot better. So the first thing I want to talk about is more controversial, but it has to do with the knifing system in Battlefield 3. Now, knifing looks awesome. It's very marketable. People love the different animations depending on what position you're in when you engage the knifing animation. However, my issue with it is that it's kind of odd in that it's very easy to engage, and you can kind of bunny hop around somebody in a firefight and all of a sudden hit the knifing animation button and all of a sudden you're knifing somebody. Sometimes you're not even pointing at the guy properly. Sometimes it's a lag issue and all of a sudden you start traveling like 10 feet to engage the knife animation. It's just a little bit weird, and I wish it was slightly more skill based, like you had to be directly behind them and perhaps maybe even aim at the head or the neck to get your little knifing icon to pop up. That way you can then engage the knifing animation, but it's a little more skill based and less bunny hopping around in the middle of crazy firefights just hitting the knife button and getting easy knife kills. Now there's still plenty of bugs and weird design choices in Battlefield 3 that just simply haven't been fixed, and if they make it into Battlefield 4, I'm just going to be pulling my hair out. One of these is the grenade spam issue, where all it takes is 2 support classes to throw down ammo boxes, and anybody who switches to their grenade can throw grenades limitlessly as long as they're within proximity of those 2 ammo boxes. This allows players to lock down entire avenues with non-stop grenade spam. Nobody can get through. You can constantly chuck those grenades, suppress everybody, just make it complete chaos on the other end, and it only takes 2 players to do this. I would love to see this changed in Battlefield 4. I hope it has been changed. And frankly, it should have been changed in Battlefield 3 a long time ago. Now, the weird netcode in Battlefield 3 is pretty much responsible for, I would say, like half of the issues, half of the bugs that everybody seems to be having in the game. One of these bugs that I have a lot is the fail reload. You go to reload your gun, you pop the mag out, put the new mag in, you think you're ready to go, but it actually hasn't reloaded your weapon. It's just played the reload animation. I'm sure this has something to do with the netcode. Some of it's server side, some of it's client side. There's just a weird combination of how the netcode works in Battlefield 3, and it seems to be really weird. Another thing that this relates to is vehicle collision. I'm sure everybody's familiar with driving a Jeep too close to a tank, or flying an airplane too close to a helicopter or another airplane. Anytime vehicles in motion get close to other vehicles in motion, things get really weird in Battlefield. Now in BF4 I didn't really see this too much. Hopefully it's fixed. I mean, it's hard to say because when I was playing I was at E3 on the floor. We were all basically hooked up to the same network, so it might have not been as prevalent there. But that's got to be fixed. In a game that's vehicle intensive, vehicle bound, you got to get that vehicle collision physics working correctly. Now I'm hoping that smoke makes a much stronger appearance in Battlefield 4. Smoke grenade launchers, anything to basically obstruct your field of vision. One of the issues I found with smoke in Battlefield 3 was that people could either spot through it, or if you were spotted and you were behind smoke, somebody could still see your little red triangle. So it didn't really obstruct people from shooting you right through smoke. So sometimes you'd put down some smoke in a hallway, try and push through. You're already spotted, so everybody just mows you down through that smoke. I would love to see smoke have a little bit more advanced netcode, where if you were in smoke, it would break all spotting on you. People couldn't 3D spot you through smoke, or even see your 3D spotting through smoke. It would act as if it was some sort of cover in the game. I think that would really help out a lot more, because it's such an important part of pushing up to key objectives in games of rush and that sort of thing. Now we know shotguns are going to be in Battlefield 4. I have a pretty good feeling that slug rounds are going to be in Battlefield 4. Can we please make it so that slug rounds have a normal targeting reticle when you equip them in BF4? In Battlefield 3 currently, you still get the circle scatter shot targeting reticle, which is not helpful if you need to aim precisely, get those precision shots off. It's a small change, but I think very necessary. Now, very quickly, because I have discussed this subject in the past quite a bit, is the revive mechanic for medics. I know they've been trying to change this for Battlefield 4. We haven't really been able to talk about some of the alpha details. I didn't actually get to play in the alpha, but I did hear rumors, this is unconfirmed, that there were 2 different ways to revive people. One was the quick revive, where you would bring them back and they would have something like 30% health. Another one was charging up the defib paddles longer, going for the revive, which would revive them at 100% health. The problem with this is that since lots of people were playing medics, somebody would just dive in, get the quick revive, while somebody was still charging up their paddles to get the full revive. So in effect, it seemed to make everybody just go for the quick revives altogether. I would love to just see a system where it takes a lot longer to charge up your defibrillator paddles. In real life, it takes a while to charge the defib paddles as well. Make it something like an RPG reload time, where you can't just go in, revive your whole squad instantly. It's something that you gotta think about, you gotta charge them up, get them ready, go for the revive. It's already such a powerful tool to have in the game. Let's just limit its usability ever so slightly. Now, the next thing I would like to talk about is weapon balancing. It's something I've spent a lot of time poring over stats in Battlefield 3, comparing guns in game, seeing how they play out, and for the most part I think the devs have done an excellent job in balancing the guns, but I think we can always take it further and make it a little bit more accurate, a little bit better balanced in general. One thing that has always irked me were the support weapons, and although in my brief playtime with Battlefield 4 I did feel like the support weapons were doing better, I would love to make sure that weapon barrel length is really accounted for in a gun's base accuracy. If you look at a lot of the support guns now on simthick.com, you'll notice that their aiming down sights accuracy, their initial accuracy, is really poor compared to a lot of assault rifles. Most of these support guns are very long-barreled light machine guns. They should have incredible long-range accuracy. In fact, they're shooting larger rounds. They should be able to travel further distances more accurately than a lot of the assault rifles that are available. This is not represented in-game at all. In fact, there's a lot of weapons in the game that have relatively long barrels with very, very low aiming down sight accuracy. Even some of the assault rifles. The F2000 has got a very long barrel in its gun, yet it has crappy aiming down sight accuracy. I would love the actual ergonomics of weapons, the design of weapons, to be accounted for a little bit more in some of the stats. Now, here's something that's really bothered me a lot in Battlefield 3 because it just doesn't account for weapon size. Weapons have weights. Having picked up, replica guns and some even real guns, and just tried to like shoulder them and bring them up to bear down sights. The weight of a gun really does affect how maneuverable, how agile, how quickly you can aim down sights with it. I would love the weapon weight to be accounted for when taking into things like aiming down sight. One of the reasons why the M16 is such a great gun in Battlefield 3 is because it's got this great long barrel, really fast reload, and you can aim it down sights just as fast as you can any other gun out there. The reality of the situation is that the M16 is a very large gun, quite a bit heavier than your average carbine or short-barreled weapon, and it's going to be harder to move around with quickly. I would love to see it have slower aiming down sight time, and that would be great to have that as a new statistic added to Battlefield 4, weapon ADS time based on the weight of the gun. Could make things much more interesting. It'd be a great way to balance out machine guns rather than giving them horrible accuracy to try and make up for the fact that they have tons of ammo. Just make it take longer for them to aim down sight, and all of a sudden you've got a nice balanced system. So those are my main gripes with Battlefield 3 and things that I would hate to see appear in Battlefield 4, the tweaks that I would love to see implemented into Battlefield 4. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Let's not talk about reinventing the wheel, but just updating, changing the mechanics. What things can be improved upon, and what things are you really hoping that the devs sort of caught on to and really updated for Battlefield 4? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. This is LevelCap, signing off.